Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Global Impact Podcast, where we explore the conversations shaping mental health, emotional resilience, family stability, and personal growth. I'm your host, Ali Mehdaoui, and today's episode is one that deserves our full attention. We're dedicating this conversation to women's mental health, emotional intelligence, and the unseen pressure that many women carry every single day. Because while women continue to lead in families, and businesses, and communities, and organizations around the world, the emotional and psychological load many of them carry is often under recognized and under supported. So let me share a few numbers to set the stage. According to the World Health Organization, women are nearly twice as likely as men to experience anxiety disorders and major depression. 2023 McKinsey Workplace Report found that 42% of women report feeling burnt out compared to 35% of men. And according to the American Psychological Association, women consistently report higher level of emotional exhaustion, largely due to the combination of professional responsibilities, family caregiving, and emotional labor. So today, we're going to explore several critical topics: emotional resilience, the invisible mental load women carry, burnout and emotional exhaustion, boundaries and identity, healing generational trauma, and why self-care must go deeper than what social media often portrays. And as always, if you or someone you love is looking for support, therapy, or wellness resources, you can visit globalimpactwellness.com. That's globalimpactwellness.com, where individuals and families can connect with professionals who help them with navigating mental health challenges, emotional healing, and personal growth. Let's begin. Segment 1. Honoring women's emotional strength. Across cultures, across generations, and across societies, women have historically carried enormous emotional responsibilities. They often serve as caregivers, emotional mediators, problem solvers, community connectors, and family anchors. Research from a Pew Research Center shows that women still perform approximately 65% of household management tasks, even in dual income households. But emotional strength does not mean someone is immune to stress. It means they continue showing up despite it. Emotional resilience is the ability to adapt, recover, and grow stronger after stress, after adversity, or trauma. Psychologists describe resilience as a combination of several key factors: emotional awareness, social support, coping skills, and access to mental health resources. One of the biggest misconceptions about strong women is that strength means handling everything alone. In reality, the strongest individuals are often the ones who recognize when they need support. And that is why mental wellness resources are so important. When women receive emotional support and professional guidance, they often become even more powerful forces of stability within their families and communities. Because when a woman is emotionally healthy, the ripple effect is profound. Children benefit, partners benefit, workplaces benefit, communities benefit. Mental wellness is an empowerment, and support is available at globalimpactwellness.com. Segment 2, the mental load women carry. Let's now talk about something psychologists call the mental load. So the mental load refers to the invisible planning, organizing, and emotional monitoring that many people carry internally every day. And research constantly shows that women disproportionately carry this burden. This includes things like remembering appointments, managing children's schedules, anticipating household needs, logistics, maintaining emotional harmony in a relationship. A 2022 Harvard Business Review study found that women perform nearly 70% of cognitive household labor, meaning they are not just doing tasks, they are managing the thinking behind those tasks. That type of constant mental processing can be exhausting. Your brain never fully shuts off. And over time, the ongoing mental load can lead to something known as cognitive fatigue. Cognitive fatigue occurs when a brain is continuously operating in high demand environment without adequate recovery. Symptoms often include irritability, brain fog, emotional exhaustion, difficulty concentrating, sleep disruption. When left unaddressed, cognitive fatigue often leads directly to burnout. And burnout is not a personality flaw. It's a biological response to prolonged stress and overload. According to the World Health Association, burnout is defined as a syndrome resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. And today, that stress doesn't only come from work, it comes from life demands stacking up simultaneously. Learning how to recognize and reduce the mental load is a powerful step toward restoring emotional balance. If burnout prevention tools could benefit you or someone you care about, support is available at Global Impact Wellness. Segment 3, self-care versus emotional exhaustion. Let's talk about self-care for a second. The phrase self-care has become extremely popular, but unfortunately, it has not been oversimplified. Self-care is not just spa days or relaxation moments. True self-care is about nervous system recovery. Your nervous system is responsible for regulating stress responses, emotional reactions, and physical health. When people experience prolonged stress, the nervous system can become stuck in fight or flight mode, which increases levels of cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. High cortisol over time can contribute to sleep problems, weight changes, weakened immune system, anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue. I can already hear my wife say, keep it coming. Those are facts. True restorative self-care focuses on activities that bring the nervous system back into balance. These include things like quality sleep, emotional processing, therapy or counseling, mindful breathing, social support, healthy boundaries. In psychology, this state of nervous system recovery is known as parasympathetic activation, often referred to as the rest and repair mode. When individuals consistently engage in restorative practices, the body begins to recover from prolonged stress, and emotional clarity often returns. This is why self-care should never be treated as luxury. It is part of maintaining psychological health. If you want to explore restorative wellness support, visit globalimpactwellness.com. Segment 4, boundaries for busy women. Let's move into another critical topic, boundaries. Many women grow up receiving messages that they must be agreeable, accommodating, endlessly helpful, but constantly prioritizing others without limit eventually leads to emotional depletion. Healthy boundaries are one of the most powerful psychological tools available for preventing burnout. In simple terms, boundaries define what you are responsible for and what you are not responsible for. Psychologists often describe boundaries in 3 simple categories: time boundaries, that's protecting your schedule and energy; emotional boundaries, not absorbing everything and everyone else's stress; relational boundaries, defining what behavior are acceptable in relationships. One study from the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology found that individuals who practice healthy boundary setting report lower stress levels, higher emotional stability, and improved job satisfaction. But setting boundaries can be uncomfortable at first, especially for people who are used to being the helper. Learning to say no can feel unfamiliar, but boundaries are not rejections. They are protection. Protection of energy, protection of your mental health, protection of your peace. And learning to establish healthy boundaries is often one of the most informative steps in emotional wellness. If you're interested in building stronger boundary skills, support is available at globalimpactwellness.com. Segment 5, healing generational trauma. Now let's discuss something deeply impactful. Generational trauma. So generational trauma occurs when emotional wounds, stress patterns, or survival behavior are passed from one generation to the next. This can happen through learned behaviors, family dynamics, and sometimes even biological stress responses. Research from the National Institute of Mental Health suggests that trauma can influence both psychological patterns and biological stress responses across generations. For example, Children raised in high-stress environments may develop heightened stress sensitivity. They may struggle with emotional regulation or trust, but here is the powerful truth. Cycles can be interrupted. When individuals begin healing their own trauma, they often prevent those patterns from continuing into future generations. Therapists often refer to this as becoming a cycle breaker. I'm a cycle breaker. Cycle breakers do courageous work. They examine patterns, they seek healing, they learn new coping strategies, and they create healthier environments for the next generation. Healing generational trauma is not blaming previous generations. It's about performing the future. If you're exploring trauma-informed healing, visit globalimpactwellness.com. Segment 6, compassion and balance. Many women naturally carry a strong sense of compassion. They want to help. They want to support. They want to give. But compassion without balance often leads to compassion fatigue. Compassion fatigue is a psychological condition where individuals become emotionally drained from constantly supporting others without replenishing themselves. Healthcare workers, teachers, parents, and caregivers frequently experience this. Symptoms often include emotional numbness, irritability, exhaustion, reduced empathy. So compassion fatigue does not mean that someone no longer cares, because I could understand the people around could see it that way. It means they've been caring without rest. And the solution is not to stop caring. The solution is to restore balance. Compassion must include yourself. You deserve emotional care too. You know that. Professional support can help people learn how to maintain compassion without sacrificing their mental health. You can find that support and resources at globalimpactwellness.com. Segment 7, reclaiming identity. So finally, let's talk about identity. Many women spend years fulfilling responsibilities: mother, partner, professional, caregiver, leader, and I can go on and on and on and on. But somewhere along the way, people sometimes lose connection with their personal identity outside those very same rules. Psychologists call this role engulfment, where a person's identity becomes entirely defined by responsibilities. Reclaiming identity involves reconnecting with your own values, with your own passions, with your own goals. It means asking important questions like, who am I outside the role I'm performing? What do I enjoy? What inspires me? What kind of life do I have or want moving forward? Self-discovery is a powerful part of emotional healing. And when people reconnect with their authentic identity, they often discover confidence, creativity, and clarity. If you're on a journey of self-discovery and emotional growth, resources are available for you at globalimpactwellness.com. In closing, today, we have explored some important realities surrounding women's emotional health and resilience. We discussed emotional strength, the mental load, burnout and self-care, boundaries, generational healing, compassion balance, identity restoration. And if there is one message that we want to leave with you today is this: mental wellness is not optional. It's not a luxury. It's essential. When individuals heal, families grow stronger. When families grow stronger, communities thrive. And that is exactly the mission behind Global Impact Wellness. If you or someone that you love could benefit from mental health support, therapy, or emotional wellness guidance, visit globalimpactwellness.com. That's globalimpactwellness.com. Until next time, take care of your mind, take care of your heart, and continue creating positive impact in the world. I'm Ali Mehdaoui. This has been the Global Impact Podcast.
At Global Impact Wellness Group, we believe healthcare should be accessible, affordable, and compassionate. Welcome to Global Impact Wellness Group, a trusted provider of nationwide telehealth services. We are a licensed mental health organization dedicated to the care, rehabilitation, and well-being of children, adolescents, adults, and families. Our virtual care platform brings mental health counseling, urgent care, primary care, telepsychiatry, and even pet telemedicine directly to your home. All sessions are secure, confidential, and fully HIPAA compliant. Why choose us? Nationwide access, affordable monthly plans with no hidden fees, and a holistic approach to mental, physical, and emotional wellness for individuals, families, and even pets. Get the care you deserve, anywhere, anytime. Visit globalimpactwellness.com today.